Hi, neighbor. I'm just kidding. Welcome back, friends and family. This is Nobody again. And today's message that I'm going to bring to you is going to string together some experience that I've had, some thoughts that I've also had. And hopefully, the message that I'll bring to you will inspire you and encourage you as you go out to face the world on an everyday basis, to fight the challenges, and to overcome the obstacles in your day-to-day life, and also to continue to fulfill your calling to bring the word to others and to bring the light of salvation into their lives so that they may enjoy the blessings that you enjoy. So I want to talk first about a phrase that I've used in a previous video, and that phrase would be unexpected treasure. And I've referred to us as individuals who have gone through the trials and tribulations and found the Lord, and now have gone forward to serve and answered our calling as true Christians to love thy neighbor, as unexpected treasures. And I have a reading that I did in an amazing Bible study group that I have on Monday nights that I go to with my wife, that I wanted to share with you the reading and what my interpretation was, that seemed to raise some eyebrows in a positive light and made people happy at my interpretation of what the message may be. And I want to bring that to you as well. It is just my interpretation. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right interpretation. It doesn't mean that's what was intended, but that's what I took from that reading, and that's what reached out to me and touched me. So I'd like to share that with you. And that reading was out of 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 1 through 7. As we read 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 1 through 7, we find a widow who is in despair, trying to find a way to summon the money to pay a creditor so that her sons will not be sold into slavery. And she turns to Elisha in despair and is begging for his help. And Elisha tells her, "What do you have in your home to help pay this debt?" And she said, "All I have is a small jar of oil." So Elisha told her to go around and ask all your neighbors for empty jars, and everybody gather as many as you can find of empty vessels, and begin to pour your oil into these empty vessels. So she followed the instructions, had her sons gather as many empty vessels as they could find, and she began to pour. And she poured and poured and poured and poured until every empty vessel was full and there were no more to fill. Now, the takeaway I see here is that we are that jar of oil that the widow has in her home. We are full because we have been touched with the light and the love of God and the grace of God, and we have been bestowed his blessings and favor throughout our lives to bring us to the point where we are as Christians, as followers of Christ, as people who recognize the blessings and the divine intervention in our lives. And we are those full vessels for that reason. And now we, as full vessels, must gather all the empty vessels around us, as many as we can find, and pour those blessings and that light and that love and that relationship with God into other people, into these empty vessels. and continue to fill and fill and gather and fill and fill and fill until we can find no more empty vessels. Only then will the oil stop flowing. Only then will our job be done. And as you saw, the widow, who was obedient and followed these instructions and filled all the empty vessels that she could find, was able to have her family saved, her remaining family saved. So, the message I get is we as full vessels need to pour into the empty vessels all around us until there's no more empty vessels. And being obedient to this calling will save us. Will save our families. Will save the empty vessels that we fill because we're giving them the light and the love of God. And that light and love of God, they will then turn and fill more vessels. And we must keep this going. We must be obedient. That's our job. That's our calling. That's what we've been asked to do by the Almighty who has blessed us and brought us to this point and smiled on us and given us favor. Now we need to pour out into the empty vessels and gather as many as we can. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, you brought up the term unexpected treasures, but I don't hear an explanation. Well, we could be unexpected treasures, but I want to explain how. And I want to use a very possibly strange example of what an unexpected treasure can be. I'm going to use a reference here that I'm going to show you that some might find at first distasteful. But I want you to read what is being stated and what is being said before you focus on who said it. So we see that this statement, although intended for entertainment purposes and was used in the beginning of a song by some may think an unfavorable artist, the message it's actually delivering is pretty powerful. He's talking about the journey he's had through life. And as hard as it was, he had to go through all of that to get to this place here where we are and where he is now. And he recognizes not only he had to go through that to become the man he is today, but he said, you know what? Some of you are still there. Some of you are still struggling and don't know how to get out. Take my hand, follow me. I'll get you out of there. I'll bring you into the light. I will bring you into his presence. That's powerful. No matter who said it, spiritually, it should be inspiring. It should be a reminder to all of us of what our responsibilities are as followers of Christ, as people who have vowed and who have committed to love our neighbors, who have committed to serve others, who have committed to help those around us who need help. This is a perfect example of how we can do that. And again, it's an unexpected treasure because it's coming from somebody who many find distasteful. But that treasure is there if you just dig a little bit and you look at it and you focus on the words and not the source. So that would be a great example of an unexpected treasure. That can also be us. We can be an unexpected treasure. Because first of all, I would imagine none of us, before coming into our own in the kingdom of God, considered ourselves a treasure. I certainly didn't. Never would have considered myself a treasure. But now that I know who I am, who created me, and who calls me by my name every day, and how much I have to offer others, and how much of God's light and favor and love is in me, and his grace is upon me, and his blessings follow me wherever I go, I know that I need to bring that to others. I know that I have something to offer. I have a treasure that I have found that I need to share with others, or I need to also give them the map to find this treasure. Because it's one thing to just give them part of the treasure you have. That only lasts as long as you're with them. But if you give them the map to find that treasure, then they can continue to enjoy that treasure for the rest of their lives. So be that unexpected treasure. I try to be every day. It's not always easy. It's not always fun, and it's not always convenient. But it is my responsibility. And for the powers who gave me everything that I have and made me everything that I am and sacrificed everything so that I may live eternally, it's really the least I could do. So please, remember, always live to be an unexpected treasure. I thank you.